Hello and welcome to Arabian Business TV. I'm here at JITEX with the CEO of Do, Osman Sultan. You're due to release your third quarter results in the next couple of weeks, and you've been quoted as saying this quarter will be better than previous quarters. Can you give me a ballpark figure as to how much better?
I have to really correct this. I think that what I said precisely, just to be as well in conformity with some governance rules in disclosure, I said Do is a growth story, and the 2010 growth is continuing, and we will have a very encouraging growth rate compared to last year. I wouldn't disclose results on the quarter specifically. I don't think this would be in conformity with the rules. But again, Do is a growth story. The quarter is it's a good growth year on year. Now we will be more explaining in detail in a couple of weeks when we release our results, but you have always, specifically in summer and specifically that this year you had the full effect of Ramadan, Eid, etc. You have seasonality in our business, so I just want to focus on the large story, which is that Do is really a growth company.
Just going back to the quarterly results, analysts are suggesting that it could be as much as 56% increase on the second quarter. Is that reasonable?
No comment on any.
Growth must be becoming a lot more difficult as mobile penetration increases in the UAE. When you talk about a growth story, can you tell me a little bit more about which areas you see the biggest growth?
Yes, you're absolutely right. It is true that and we can see it. I mean, when we look at 2009 compared to 2008 and now 2010 compared to 2009, the rate of growth is going to slow down. That's a normal, I would say, equation. When you take into account that the level of penetration, for instance, for mobile has now exceeded 200%, I think that everybody can understand that this is only normal. But on the other hand, we are at 37% market share at the end of the previous quarter on the mobile front. So that's very encouraging, and actually that is better than anyone anticipated in terms of result. But on the other hand, I wouldn't be doing my job, and I don't see any reason why we should not ambition to be at parity with the other player. So that gives us a potential for possible growth in the coming years. So that's one. The other track of growth that we have clearly identified is expanding the footprint of the converged offer in terms of fixed telephony, broadband internet, and pay TV from a relatively restricted geographical area where we service today nationwide through the infrastructure sharing agreement that has been announced, and that is something we look at as potential growth. On the other hand, I think that we are seeing transformation in our industry. You have new players that are coming in the scenery, people like the social networks, people like internet players and ISPs that are driving significant and more significant usage. And I think that seeing how we go in this space and how we start to position ourselves in this space and seed tracks of growth at the longer term is something we owe to our shareholders, and this is what we started, and there are some announcements here in JITEX on that front.
You talked about comparity in the mobile sector with
Yes.
Etisalat. How quickly will that happen, do you think?
I don't think it's important how quickly. I think it's important. Obviously, this will not happen overnight. Every point of market share you want to gain is more and more difficult the more we go. And again, I don't think how quickly this is important. I think how efficiently we do it without compromising on the value that we offer to our shareholders. I think that Do has been always committed to provide value to the market. This happened on all fronts. It's already there. We need to continue on that track. We are committed as well to make this happen while not compromising on the healthy profitability of this company, because we owe this to our employees, we owe this to our shareholders.
But can you give me a time frame as to when you expect it to happen?
No, this is again, it's not important, and I know that everybody will say, yes, is it going to happen in 1 year, 2 years? Again, this is not important. And I don't think we should target something. We should drive, through the right efficiency. Do has been in a fast growth, driven by growth in the first 3 years. We set up the foundations. I think now we need to be realistic. We need to have the right ambition, and we need to drive this company more by efficiency and more by profitability, rather than seeking growth, for the sake of growth itself. So that's where the mindset in which we are.
We did an interview very recently with the CEO of Vodafone Qatar, who said that the UAE lacked any real competition in the telco market. Is that something you agree with?
Well, I think when we see the dynamism of the different offers that are in the market, offers and counter offers, I think everyone can make the comparison. So my answer is no, I don't agree with this. If people want to refer to an overall framework or an overall governance framework, I see competition in what is happening to customers. If we see how the prices moved from 2007 until now, if we see now the dynamics, every day there is a new offer, every day there is a new offer of giving value for money, I think competition from a customer's point of view is there.
Do you think there's enough competition?
There is never enough competition. But good competition is competition built on the sustainability of the players. I think that there is a progressive agenda from the authorities. Actually, this has been indicated that this will be a progressive journey. I think it makes a lot of sense as well. So I think we should continue down that track. And the most important thing is to ensure that customers will have the choice. This is today happening in the mobile. It will happen through the right value proposition on the fixed and broadband market and for home services.
How much did Du pay for the rights to the World Cup?
The rights to the World Cup? You mean the televised rights? We just paid through the agreements we have with our vendors with an extra premium. But I don't think this is a significant amount of money to be, either disclosed or something. And usually we don't like to disclose. Numbers that are related to agreements with partners, because this is the right of the partners that for us not to disclose that.